Hello again. It's Josie, and thank you so much for visiting the Eccentric Services channel. This series is all about what happens when a planet transits, meaning it visits your first house. I'm using Vedic astrology, okay, loves? So work with that. Anyway, so this is the intro video to all the videos that I'm going to do for each planet because I have to do it this way, okay? So the first house is ruled by Aries, okay? And Aries is ruled by Mars energy, okay? The head, the cerebrum, the eyes, the face, the upper jaw, the ventral part of the body, the carotid arteries is what's ruled by the first house, okay? So that's going to stay consistent through all of these videos. The planets will be visiting this area, influencing what's already ruled there, those particular energies that I just named. Now, I'm not an expert on health. I'm not an expert on chakras. I'm not a professional astrologer. Take what resonates and leave the rest, because I know I'm going to attract plenty of people trying to correct me. I will cite the places I've got this information in the description box and in the comments. Okay, loves? I'm just trying to help you out in a general fashion. So, again, this series is about how planets affect your body when they transit your first house, because your first house is your identity. It is the energy that you embody. So when planets transit your first house, you feel it, okay? Other than that, let's get on with the show. Let's get on to our next planet. Hello, loves. It's Josie. Thank you so much for visiting the Eccentric Services channel. This video is going to be about Ketu and Rahu because I don't like to talk about them separately. I don't know why. But what happens first? We're going to deal with Rahu first. What happens when Rahu visits your first house in your natal chart? Forgive me. Okay, we've already covered what the first house rules as far as body parts and situations. So now we're going to cover what Rahu rules as an energy visiting your first house. Rahu is responsible for things like leprosy, spleen disorders, poisonous injuries like snake bites, and cancer. So those are some of the areas Rahu may bring with it when it visits your first house in your natal chart, okay? So things that you can do to alleviate these situations are to if you're going to be out, protect yourself, wear the proper attire when you're hiking and things like that, number one. Number two is don't rush, because usually people are not prepared. People don't get into situations where they're not prepared on purpose. Okay? It's because they're so eager. It's because they want it so bad that there's steps that they just happen to skip. You know, it's not that they intentionally, nobody's going to go on a camping trip and say, oh, I don't need insect repellent. I'm not going to use insect repellent. No, most of the time it's forgotten because they're moving so fast. So slow down and really be mindful of the process when Rahu is in your first house, because Rahu just wants it. And it wants it now. And it doesn't care how it gets it. You see what I mean? So that's usually how those things can happen when it comes to that. With the situation of cancerous type stuff, those kinds of diseases, what I see happening is that because Rahu wants to act as a consumer, Rahu wants to just take. It doesn't want to give, right? And in this situation, it could be any area of life. You could be chasing money. You could be chasing girls. You could be chasing whatever. It causes a great amount of stress when you're always chasing something. And that could be one of the ways that you create like cancerous environments like in your body, okay? Rahu has a very I don't care type, by any means necessary attitude. So there may be a tendency to eat things you know you shouldn't eat. You know, like it can be extreme. You know you're allergic to something, but you still eat it anyway. And because people do this. Oh my God, people do this. People know they're allergic to shellfish, but that one time they just can't help it and they eat it anyway. They're willing to go to the hospital and get all of these shots and stuff. Like they're willing to put their life in danger just because they want some shellfish. Like this is what happens. These are the type of things that may happen when Rahu goes into your damn first house. So be aware of this, okay? Definitely have some lessons to learn there. So slowing down, understanding that there is a process, understanding that you cannot skip steps, and understanding that the end doesn't justify the means. You can't just win by any means necessary and leave a trail of tears behind you. Okay, that's just not how we want to do this, because you know what? Yes. With Rahu in the first house, you definitely want to try your best not to like screw people over, because you're going to have these string of events like snake bites and all kind of stuff to where you just seem like the universe is trying to kill you. But no, it's because you're probably not operating from integrity and you're moving too fast and you just have this level of I don't care. That's all. So let's move over to Ketu now. What does Ketu rule? And Ketu is the south node. Rahu is the north node. But y'all know I be using Vedic astrology, right? Right. So Ketu rules allergies, cardiac disorders, hypertension, mental disorders, sudden accidents, and mysterious diseases. I know y'all seen them shows, mystery diagnosis and stuff like that. Ketu is the energy that is behind that. Okay, so what happens when Ketu comes into your first house? Lord have mercy. Ketu wants to take everything away. Ketu wants to be a minimalist. Ketu wants to, sell the house and go live in the woods to find God, okay? So, yeah. Rejection, that's where the allergies come from. You're rejecting, just like your body rejects certain foods, it sees it as a threat. The energy of Ketu will reject things because it sees it as unnecessary to the spiritual mission. You see what I mean? As far as infections are concerned, what may happen within your body is that you may be getting ill. And I'm going to put these two together, infections and mysterious diseases. This is where that whole wounded healer comes from, that Chiron energy, even though we're talking about Ketu. What happens in certain situations is you may get sick. Nobody can tell you why. I don't know if I said this. This is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. Anyway, when you have a mysterious disease, infections, things like that, and nobody can give you the answers why, the doctors are just treating the symptoms, Ketu's most likely behind that. Okay? There's a Ketu aspect somewhere in your chart. And through this whole period of time, you're doing all kind of research trying to figure out what's wrong with you, because after a while, nobody's even taking you seriously, So you learn all of this stuff in the process, but Ketu as a kind of spiritual teacher, that was the point. You get sick, you learn all of this stuff trying to heal yourself, and then you have that knowledge to end up like healing other people. You see what I mean? Mental disorders, that goes hand in hand with I'm sick, I don't know why, so I must be crazy. right? Ways to alleviate this is not being afraid to teach what you've learned about your situation. Like, tell your story. When you're dealing with Ketu in the first house, tell your story, number one. Number two, work within your limitations, but don't get pissed off because you can no longer do something. Do what you can with the energy or the situation that you have. Because it's too easy to get mad when you are not able to do things anymore, or if people think you're crazy, you figure you might as well be crazy. With allergies, don't eat the dang shellfish. It's not worth it. You can get real comfortable with hospital type environments and stuff, and you just no. Take charge of your self-care. Take charge of, be your advocate when it comes to, doctor's appointments and things like that. Hypertension, what you want to do when Ketu is in your first house, if you're experiencing hypertension, is to, of course, see a doctor, but there's going to be things that your doctor tells you to do. Besides those pills that they give you, do that. Don't not do it. If they say you can't have salt, you better get smart and figure out some new recipes. Do it. A lot of us, what we like to do is we like to have selective hearing with the doctors. Okay, just give me the pill so I can fix it. Ketu ain't gonna let you do that. Ketu is gonna send you through hell or high water just so you can learn. A lot of the illnesses that come with Ketu are there to get you to change your lifestyle. Because once you change your lifestyle, sometimes, I'm just telling y'all, sometimes, let's say you got allergies. You may have, the gluten thing, where you have a gluten intolerance, but you don't know. So you're taking all of these medicines because your digestive tract is just jacked up, right? But then finally you give in and you start doing what the doctor told you to do outside of the medicine. And you find out that that's what your body's rejecting is gluten. And you stop eating it, and then you just feel better. And you're like, wow, I should have did this a long time ago. I shouldn't have been so stubborn. It goes with a lot of different things, So yeah, Ketu is all about marrying science with spirituality. Ketu is all about, yes, there are doctors that are necessary, but there's also that self-work that you got to do as well together. Hopefully y'all understood all that, because that's the way I got lost, Lord. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a beautiful day.